It's and the really reason why this is happening is, let's just be honest, it's a uniparty situation. It really is. It's not Democrat and Republicans. They call themselves that just to make you think that there is something going on. But it's a uniparty situation because 7 Republicans helped to confirm embattled Biden nominee as ambassador to India.
Mm-hmm.
That's Eric Garcetti. Okay, he was one of the major donors to the Biden campaign. He was a former LA, I think it was mayor, right? He was former LA mayor.
Yeah.
He donated a whole bunch to the Biden campaign, and then Biden's just like, yeah, we'll make you ambassador to India because wasn't it supposed to be Nancy Pelosi that was the ambassador to Italy? Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too, just because of the scandal that he's been involved in. So, senators, including 7 Republicans, voted on Wednesday to confirm President Joe Biden's nominee to serve as U.S. ambassador to India, embattled former Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti. Geez, super sorry for my stutter. The Senate voted 52 to 42 to send Garcetti to New Delhi. And then amongst the 7 Republicans, of course, Lindsey Graham is in there, but it's Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Steve Daines, Lindsey Graham, Bill Hagerty, Roger Marshall, and Todd Young.
I just want to point this out. I live close to Tennessee. As a matter of fact, most of my life, I was in Tennessee. Bill Hagerty, you were a huge POS, and you always have been. You've been part of Tennessee's government for a while, and the fact that you were raised to national level, just no. Tennessee it's always been like a Republican state. You got Nashville, you got Knoxville, and you got Memphis. Those are the major areas that are blue in that state. But the fact that Tennessee as a whole put that person into power on a government level tells me that Tennessee's just like, I don't care anymore. He says Republican, so we'll just vote.
Yeah.
And he was probably first on the list because his name is Bill. So there you go.
So coming back, 3 Democrats voted against this nomination. 6 senators did not vote. And then Garcetti said in a statement, "I'm thrilled with today's outcome, which was a decisive and bipartisan decision to fill a critical post that has been vacant for too long. Now the hard work begins." But Garcetti is a Democrat who served as mayor of Los Angeles from 2013 to 2022 and was named co-chair of Biden's campaign in 2020. After Biden became president, he first nominated Garcetti to be ambassador to India in July of 21. Garcetti was nominated again earlier this year for the new session of Congress. The nomination was held up amid claims that Garcetti may have ignored misconduct allegations. We're going to leave out that first part for the censorship of the YouTubes against a top aide when he was mayor. Naomi Slegman, a former communications director for Garcetti, told CNN on Monday that Garcetti is unfit to become an ambassador or really to hold public office anywhere in this country or this world.
I agree.
Rough.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Chuck Grassley found Garcetti likely knew or should have known that his former senior advisor was sexually harassing and making racist remarks towards multiple individuals. That's something that's a pretty big thing to ignore. Garcetti denied the assertions, insisting he did not witness any inappropriate behavior. And then sorry, I'm kind of just bouncing through this. If you want to go read the entire article, you certainly can. But Donald Trump Jr. made this tweet. He said, "Why are a Republican senator throwing a lifeline to save a radical Dem like Eric Garcetti? Dems would never do this to save a Republican nominee in peril," tweeted Donald Trump Jr. "This type of weakness is exactly why we're losing our country. Dems play hardball while Republicans keep playing t-ball."
Yeah. And she froze up.
Actually, really.
There we go.
I think I lagged out. Sorry. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's actually really frustrating to me. Yeah, internet's rough. Sorry, guys. But like, I'm like an independent conservative, so I don't call myself a Republican. I never have, and I don't think I ever will, just because I'm not going to pledge loyalty to a political party again, like I did when I was on the left. And it's just really frustrating to me because it's like all of the time I feel like, Democrats are just kind of running and Republicans are either doing nothing or they're just trying to like keep them reined in, basically. And they're not doing a great job of either one of those things. And it's just really frustrating. It's like nobody's actually making like moves. Nobody's doing anything. We're also bogged down in some of the culture war stuff that nothing's actually getting done because it's like, I don't know, the whole the whole LGBTQ thing, it's just become a political football at this point. And yeah. That's frustrating in and of itself, just because like I do think it's important in regards to culture to talk about that kind of stuff, but it shouldn't be the sole focus of like legislation or like completely overtaking all of our headlines all over the place. Like obviously there's tons of news every day, but I feel like there's some type of like trans or LGBT or there's something like that almost every single day in the news, and that gets really frustrating too. It's like people wonder why I talk about that kind of stuff all the time. It's like, well, I'm like literally bombarded by it all the time. So I just think if you vote for the lesser of two evils, you're still voting for evil. Yeah, and it's really frustrating. It's like I wish that there was like a libertarian candidate who had a chance. And I don't know, Tulsi Gabbard kind of talked about that in one of her podcast episodes, I think, or maybe it was when she was on Joe Rogan, I can't remember, but just about how it's almost impossible for any libertarian candidates or like third party candidates in general to actually like have a chance, just because of all of the I was going to say the politics of it, but that's kind of redundant within this context, but the bureaucracy of it.
Well, I mean, the independent party has just been labeled just like wishy-washy and they don't know what they're talking about kind of thing for so long. Everybody just never pays attention to anything they've got to say. Even though I will give them credit, the independent party is now really starting to get their act together at this point. And I applaud them for that, because the live and let live thing is not a thing anymore. You can't. Yeah, I shared that one. But I do want to say, Crash, this is another one that did not pop up in the YouTube chat there. Please send me an email. Send me what you got. I'll definitely take a look in that, because what y'all are seeing is probably going to head our way very soon with that. But yeah, definitely, what was it? There we go. Nope. I went too far. Screw it, I'll do it again. And there we go. Yeah, send it to that one right there. Let me know what you got, and I'll definitely take a look. And that is a problem, considering y'all are supposed to be a democratic country. Y'all ain't playing by your own rules like we aren't. But yeah. There is other things to this, and like I said, it's the whole thing of Nancy Pelosi stepping down as Speaker of the House and wasn't even going to try to run again for Speaker of the House, and it's because the Republicans took office, let's just be honest. But the only reason she went for that was because she was supposed to be the ambassador to Italy, and didn't quite happen that way. And I'm going to bring this up. Although the embassy charges several civil servant can conduct day-to-day diplomacy. Most G7 countries expect to have big-name ambassadors in place, someone who can call the president directly and cut through the State Department bureaucracy. That is a huge problem. So you're going to sit there and to talk to the president directly and get the president to do whatever you want without having to go through the other branches of government that are supposed to give us checks and balances within the country or within this country. That is a huge problem. Okay. With deep economic and cultural ties to the United States, Italy, a member of NATO, is front and center, both in alarming Ukraine and diversifying Europe's energy supply, in arming Ukraine. Yeah. No wonder y'all are having such a problem over there. Diversifying Europe's energy supply. Wasn't it Orange Man that said, do not rely on Russian oil because y'all are going to have a problem, and they laughed at him for it? I mean, it has nothing to do with the people themselves. It has everything to do with their government. But yes, look who was right again. That fat, he was right yet again. And whatever. You've already cussed, but I'm not going to bring it to that level. But yes, that's the thing.
We're trying to keep it, you know, a little bit cleaner over here. Like,
I don't know how long we'll be able to last.
Couple here and there. Well, you know, I don't know. It's hard for me sometimes.
It says the intrigue, but for most of the last 2 years, some aspiring ambassadors were convinced that Biden was holding Rome open for former Speaker Nancy Pelosi and proud Italian American. But yet she was wearing African garb and kneeling. Pander more. But with Pelosi not making any visible moves to leave Congress, the theory that Biden was preserving Italy for Pelosi has lost some currency. Biden has been considering Stephen Robert, a former Wall Street executive with ties to Pelosi, for Italy, but he is no longer in the mix, according to the people familiar to the matter. The White House has declined for comment. Number one, why are you sending a Wall Street executive? Why are you even thinking about sending a Wall Street executive as an ambassador to any country that has ties with Nancy Pelosi? So she could just say, jump. Hey, dance for me, monkey. Well, I got ties to the president. Wait, hold on. Hunter Biden.
It's also shady. All of this is super shady.
We haven't been playing ball with anything and doing anything right in this country for a long time. And it's just now to the point to where it's become so evident that they don't need to hide it anymore, because what are y'all going to do about it? I mean, we're taking your money. We're devaluing the American dollar. We're crashing your bank account to put you on a digital currency that we have every bit of fucking control over. We have control of everything that you do. And if you say something against us, well, you don't get to drive to work.
Well, it's interesting. It's like, I don't know, like all the California's doing crazy stuff too. But you know how all of the people, like various organizations and just individuals, have gotten like banned off like PayPal and, you know, all of the, you know, those third party currency applications and whatnot. It's like, yeah, that's going to just start happening across the board. And like, I mean, there's already been people who have been banned from like Chase Bank, is that people's accounts have been closed through them just for saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. Obviously, like pretty notable figures, but still.
You talking about?
It's also worrisome.
You talking about Kanye West? Wasn't he Chase Bank?
Well, him. I don't remember what bank it was. But like. I mean, Kanye West, Andrew Tate also got like iced out of some banks, and then like there have been other instances of it that I've seen from other people. I'd have to like look into it again to remember who exactly it was and all that good stuff. But It's been a minute. So sometimes I have to constantly refresh to like be able to remember like small details of some stuff. Too much stuff I'm focusing on. Don't forget the removal of arms to protect yourself from a tyrannical government. Yeah, like that makes any freaking sense. But people just go, oh, firearms equal bad because hurt people. It's like, no, well, bad people hurt people. Like it's not like they're.
I mean,
the guns not jumping up and.
Las Vegas shooting. What happened? Because we heard about that, and then all of a sudden it fell off the map when people started pointing out the fact that, he took multiple cases up there within a few days and nobody raised an alarm. I mean, these were heavy cases because this dude had an arsenal within this room and nobody raised an alarm. Yet there's video evidence of shots being fired from different directions, not just that room, and nobody raised an alarm. No, memory hole. And we still have yet to figure out exactly what that was.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really frustrating things like that, but like at the end of the day, like I approach everything as if there's like that's one case that there's a lot of questions on, and I don't think we'll ever get the real answers to. But I don't know, the way people treat firearms is really frustrating. It's like I don't really know anything about firearms, and I don't pretend to in the aspect of like the technicalities of them and like. All the different kinds of guns and stuff like that. So it's like, well, now 2A because, I'm stupid. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, and it's like, but that's the thing is like, I used to have such a strong opinion about gun reform and, banning, assault rifles and all that crap that we hear all the time. And it's like, I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Why am I against something that I don't even know anything about? And at the end of the day, people just want to protect themselves and their families. And it's about, from the government, from other people. And it just, if you disarm people, it just makes us all sitting ducks for anyone who wants to do us ill will. Essentially, it doesn't really matter who that other entity is. So at the end of the day, like that's what you're subjecting people to. But
I mean, all you have to do is just look at Chicago for that. I mean, New York.
Yeah,
Chicago,
I mean, they have some they have the strictest. Yeah, they have the strictest gun laws in the country, and they have the most gun crime and the most heinous kind of crime like that going on. Like it's right. Not working. That's the problem. Like they think for some reason that like do you think people who want to do other people harm or do illegal activity are just gonna just like walk in and like, here you go, hand you all my stuff. Let me just knock my mic around. Sorry, but
yeah, it's.
Like, you're just hurting people who don't want to actually harm anyone else.